All right, we are recording. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to make sure that we're respectful of everybody's time. So thank you everyone for joining us this evening. I will hand things over to the Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Environment and Planning, Thomas Baines, if you want to start us off, Thomas.
Or can everybody hear me first and foremost?
Yes.
Great. First, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. This is a truly exciting time. It's been a lot of hard work that's been put into this program, this Storefront program, especially in light of these past few years with the pandemic and everything. And that really sets the stage for why this program is so critical for Erie County. You know, the county executive's intention was to have a program that would really impact businesses on a very, very, very direct level. So, as most of during the time of the quarantine, although folks were shuttered in and we were at home, there was a boost in online sales. And as a result, the county experienced a surplus of sales tax revenue. So, County Executive Mark Poloncarz decided to say, hey, well, we know that those businesses that were shuttered were impacted because they didn't get the benefit of foot traffic or the sales that the online businesses had. So therefore, set aside $10 million to really address that concern. And the best use of funds was to revitalize our storefronts in Erie County. So that brings us to today. So first and foremost, we'd like to say congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. This is a big step towards moving toward that final state, which is adding just a little bit extra to make sure your businesses look great. So, trying to introduce myself, I'm Thomas Baines. I'm the Deputy Commissioner of Planning and Economic Development for Erie County. And first and foremost, I'd like to just give my team the opportunity to introduce themselves. So, I'm going to tag Toronto so she can formally introduce herself, and then we'll go on to the next in line. And Toronto, you can pick who you want to tag next. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. My name is Trana Batchelor. I am the Director of Business Assistance for the Erie County in the Department of Environment and Planning. And to echo Thomas, absolutely congratulations. I'll be walking everyone through the process here as we go forward and what you all as business owners can look forward to doing as we get through this process and tackle your projects. So I will hand things over to my colleague, Vicky Haas, to introduce herself.
Good evening, everyone. I am also happy to congratulate everyone. I know that many of us have spoken, and it's just nice to have everybody here and have an opportunity to get to know each other, and looking forward to seeing all the great work. And over to Paul D'Orlando.
Paul D'Orlando, I'm Contract Administrator for Community Development Programs for Erie County. I think we can go to our Program Administrator for the program, Greg Merriman, next.
Yes, hello, it's Greg Merriam. I work with the Harrison Studio. We were retained to be the program administrators on the project. So I'm just representing our team here tonight.
And how about our architects next? How about Mike?
Yeah, hi, Mike Lukaszewski with AML Architects, and looking forward to working with you all, see what your ideas are, and we can make your dreams into reality. So look forward to this amazing opportunity for business owners in the area.
Thanks, Mike. How about you, James?
Hi, everyone. James Baptiste, architect up here in Lewiston, New York. Congratulations to everyone, and I'll be taking care of most of the clients or the award winners up in the northern part of Erie County. Nice to meet everyone.
Thank you, James. I think we've got two other architectural firms that will be working with us throughout this program. I don't believe they're on at the moment, so I'll let them introduce themselves if they hop on later on. But for now, I'll get our slideshow started. We can just kind of go through the process and how we'll tackle all of this. So just give me one moment here. Is that visible for everyone? Great. So we did our introductions. We'll start right here for the project. So yes, again, congratulations everyone on being awarded. We got quite a few applications, you know, well over 600 eligible applications that we had to score and sift through to whittle it down to a little over 250 awards that will be given throughout this program, at least for its first iteration. Hopefully, if we have any more money that's put into this, we'll be able to keep it going. But for now, we're starting out with our first batch of over 250 businesses that we'll be able to fund. So consider yourselves fortunate to be the lucky few. A lot of really worthy businesses that unfortunately just didn't have enough funding to hit everybody. So hopefully we'll be able to address that as we go down the line. Sorry. A little technical difficulty here. Where's my slideshow? Hold on one moment. Okay, can everyone see the slideshow? Still? Okay, good. So we'll be getting started with, after tonight's meeting, all of our awardees will be notified directly within a week via email by their assigned architectural firm. So expect to get that email. Please make sure that you're checking your email so that you'll be able to connect with your assigned architect. After that initial point of contact, the architectural firm assigned to you will schedule an on-site visit. There's no need for the business owners to pay for the architectural services. The county has that covered. That's a part of your package. As far as the on-site visit is concerned, the business owner and the architect will tour the building and get a sense of what the building needs are. You'll be discussing the ideas of your requested improvements to be made, give general estimation of the cost of each improvement that's requested, and prioritize the project based on the building's overall needs and, of course, the building owners or the business owners' requests. We are working with quite a few awardees right now, so please keep in mind that we've got 4 architectural firms that are dealing with over 250 awardees. So it is going to take time to get through everyone. So just be patient. We will definitely get to you. As far as the post on-site visit is concerned, there will be an assessment. The architects will provide the necessary guidance on permits, as well as any local approvals that potentially might be needed for the contractor to complete any of work on your building. Including any potential historic preservation issues, planning board, regulatory board issues that will be, you'll have assistance with that. The architect will also provide the business owner a rendering of the anticipated design, at which point both parties will approve the assessment and the rendering. And once that's done, your architect will provide you with an agreed upon project scope document, which will list each piece of work that you're going to do to your building. Each business owner will be responsible for hiring their own contractor. We do require that there are at least 2 estimates, 2 bids that have got required for each of this. So once you get your project scope, you'll have 6 months to make sure that you have a contractor. You will need to do that within that 6-month period though. So it wouldn't be 6 months from today, it would be 6 months from when you get that project scope document. And you'll need 2 estimates for any contractor that you're hiring. So if you have a general contractor that'll be working on the building, but then you also have another contractor for say an awning or windows or something like that, you'll need 2 estimates for each of the contract for the work that you'll need. The contractors must be licensed in the state of New York and also carry liability insurance. And your contractor's estimates will be sent to the architect for approval. Once your architect approves the estimates, those estimates will be then sent to our program administrator. The program administrator will then provide a contract agreement between the business owner and the contractor, which will need to be executed and signed by both parties. The program administrator will then notify business owners and contractor that the approved work may proceed. Once the project is completed, the architect will be contacted. You'll be contacted by your architect to make the final inspection of the work, make sure everything is satisfactory. Once that is certified and completed, the architect will give that approval to our program administrator. Once all those approvals are in, the program administrator will issue a check directly to the contractor. So keep in mind that you as the business owner won't be getting a check, but the contractor's work will be paid for directly. So as far as next steps, like I mentioned previously, you'll be contacted within the next week by your assigned architect. Like I said, there are 4 architectural firms that are working with us, and we've kind of segmented them geographically. So you will certainly know within the next week who your assigned architect is and what your next steps will be. A lot of the really specific questions that you might have regarding your project, you'll be able to do that on a one-on-one basis with your architect. So as far as questions are concerned for today, it'll be more so about the process and if you need any clarification on that. But as far as specifics that are concerning your building are concerned, you'll be able to talk to your architect directly and really get into the weeds on that. So with that said, we will take some questions.
Toronto, can I jump in real quick?
Oh, please.
I know Clint Brown, one of the architects that just contacted me. Can you unmute him so he can say a couple words? I think he's under Brown. Is that possible to do?
Let me see. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can actually.
And the attendees?
They're just Brown. Okay, you're unmuted.
And then, Trana, if I could interrupt also, there's a message in the chat that Jeff Klotzer from Labella team is on the call but can't unmute.
Yeah, Clinton Brown, it's under, and then Jeffrey Klotzer.
All right, we got another Brown here. Okay. And I think you're unmuted.
I have just been right. She wrote in her journal the next day, all I keep replaying in my mind.
Did you need?
Face down in a random bed.
Hello, this is Clinton Brown. Am I?
You're
audio?
unmuted. Yep.
I've got 2 devices here and they're fighting each other. Thank you so much. If I might say a word about how extraordinary this program is. And County Executive Mark Poloncarz has done something that is really outstanding and put together a team that's really terrific. I'm Clinton Brown. We're with Clinton Brown Company Architecture, and we have a team including developments by GEM, Insight Architects. Between us, we've worked on 1,000 facade improvement programs across New York State, and this one could be the best one ever. It is a pioneering project. It's starting from scratch, and we will succeed if we approach it with good faith and a lot of good humor. This work can be fun. I'd like to say that everybody is watching. We're all hoping to make this the transformative project that the county executive has envisioned.
Right.
And on behalf of the Clinton Brown Company Architecture Storefront Revitalization Collaborative, we couldn't be happier to be part of the process. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. Appreciate the vote of confidence.
And I don't know if Jeff, if you wanted to introduce yourself as well as our other
Yeah.
architect.
Yep. Thanks, Toronto. Yep. Jeff Kletzer from Labella team. Our team is both Labella Associates and Watts Architecture and Engineering. And we're really excited about the program and have our staff ready to go. And looking forward to reaching out to all the business owners in the next week so we can start working with you as fast as we can get to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. And Brent, I don't know if you wanted to say anything. I know you're on one of the teams.
I'm on the Labella team with Jeff Kletzer. So Brent Risner.
Thanks, Brent. Vicky, let's start with some of the questions. Any questions in the chat?
Okay, we do have a few. So first question is, can the PowerPoint be sent to us?
So we are going to put the PowerPoint right on our website, so you'll be able to access it directly from the Storefront website that we've put everything on so far.
Okay, next one. Can someone help us find contractors?
Yes, your architects will be able to help with that. We also have some contractor lists, I believe, that the county has as well that we can share, so that you guys can at least have a starting point, but you will have some assistance in that department, yes.
Okay.
And any of my colleagues, please jump in if you have any other answers or to any of these questions as well.
Okay, next, are there scheduled payments or just lump sum?
You know what? Let me get some help with that one, Paul, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it can be done either way. If it's one contractor and it's a large enough portion of what they have, then it can be broken up, depending on what it is, or it can be a lump sum. It can be done either way. Probably depends on the actual scope of the actual work, the project itself.
Thanks, Paul. Next question.
Next, who would we contact if we do not receive an email by next week?
You can contact me directly if you don't receive one by next week. And my information is actually right on our website as well. Or you can contact the Storefront info email address that's also on our website.
Okay, what role does building owner play to support awarded tenants, but still have a say as an owner?
I think with that, you'll definitely want to coordinate with your tenant. So it'll be basically you and your tenant and the architect that will kind of go through the scope and make that final decision. So just make sure that you've got good coordination with your tenants.
Yeah, there'll actually be an agreement between each contractor and the business owner. The business owner will have to get another signed approval from the building owner at that point before the contractor can begin work. So there'll have to be coordination in that regard.
Okay, good. So next one is really looking forward to this grant award. If contractors require deposits up front, will that be on the business owner, or do we also send this to our designated program administrator?
That's going to be sent to the program administrator, right, Paul? I know we've had a couple of conversations about this too.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, we're unable to provide a deposit for contractors. So that is going to be on the business owner, but there will be an agreement that'll be signed at the time. But we will not, the county will not be able to provide deposits to contractors.
Okay. Next one, what is the website for this grant?
It is storefront info/storefront at erie.gov. Sorry.
Actually, I will go out and see if I can get the link to put in the chat as well, but it's erie.gov/storefront, I believe. But I'll go out and try to find that while we're doing other questions. Will we be given contractor suggestions? I think we already covered that. Who approves what contractor gets picked? Is it the lowest bid?
That's going to be up to the business owner as far as the selection. It does not have to be lowest bid. You just do need 2 estimates.
Yeah, normally in a situation like that, the architect would have to approve the price though. So it does not have to be the low bid, but it still has to be within reason, an acceptable market price for whatever the whatever the product is.
Okay, so sorry about this, guys. I went out to get the link and now I have to get back on the webinar.
Hey, Vicky, you missed one from before. I want to jump in here.
Okay.
It says if you're a construction company, can we act as a general contractor? The answer to that is yes. Would have to get another estimate, and the architect would have to approve of the price, whatever the estimate is.
Okay, thanks for catching that, Paul. So if our project exceeds the grant, is there a preferred financing company or bank?
No, they're not that we would recommend. So it would really be up to the business owner to cover anything in excess of that. But I think a big part of this is that your architect's going to be working with you to see how you can stay within budget. So certainly certain things will have to be triaged, but we do have some wiggle room as far as what you'd be able to cover yourselves, that goes over the 40,000. But keep in mind also that the extra architectural services that you're receiving are going to be under that 40. So you want to keep that in mind as you're going through that process.
Okay. Just before I read on, I did just put the website address in the chat. So if you want to copy it from there, and then I can probably put it in at the end as well. So next question, can we choose our own architect?
Nope, the architects are going to be assigned to you. And like I said earlier, we've segmented them off based on geography and also the architect's familiarity with certain municipalities and certain areas of the county. So who you're assigned to is who you'll be with.
Okay, next, is there a timeline for when the work has to be completed once the project is approved?
We would like for the work to be completed within 2 years of that approval, or 2 years of the beginning of the program. So we're hoping it won't take that long, but we do understand that contractors might be tough to get a hold of, and there's a lot of projects that are going to be happening at the same time. So we do plan to be somewhat flexible, but within 2 years, we would like the projects to be completed.
Okay, is there a timeline for when the work has to be completed once the project is approved? Sorry, I just read the same question over again. Will the county help with bid specs?
Paul, I'll let you take that one.
Yeah. Yes. In fact, one of the Trana slides was on there. You're going to get a rendering, like a color rendering from the architect to show what the improvements could look like. And once that's agreed upon between the business owner and the architect, then they're going to give you a work write-up. So they're going to give you bid specifications for the exact type of product that you need. And then you'll be able to take copies of those to give that to contractors so that they're all bidding on the same thing. Giving you estimates, I should say, for the same, whatever's in the bid spec from the architect to you.
Okay, next one is, when does the money need to be used by? I think that was just covered by the 2-year time frame. Next is, I missed at the beginning of the presentation. Is there a deadline that we must complete the work and become operational? Same thing, I believe.
Within 2 years, yeah.
We have a thank you for accepting. You're welcome. So if the amount of the renovation is more than 40,000, will the initial 40,000 be paid by the county and the business owner would pay the rest directly?
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's worth pointing out, this is a very, it's a really good question. And what you're going to find is that this particular program, the high end of this program is $40,000. So the architects have been charged with prioritizing the needs of each storefront based on that $40,000. So what it comes down to is, Erie County is paying these architects, so we're not going to be paying for work that's above $40,000. So they're going to have a pretty good idea as to how they're going to prioritize what that bid spec is going to look like and how it's going to get up to that $40,000 figure. So you're not going to be, whatever's over that, you're completely on your own. So this will be for the architect's work will be just for roughly, approximately as close to 40,000 as possible on the high end.
Okay, next one. Other than a signed approval, is there anything else tenants need to provide to building owners?
No. Signed approval should be it.
Next one, will we be paid back for any deposits we have to make?
So the way this will work is that the county's funding has to go directly to the contractor. So we won't be paying the business owner directly. It'll just be the contractor that'll be paid directly. So no.
I guess the real answer is they'd have to work with the contractor to explain the situation, and the contractor then, when they get the county check, would have to give half the money of the deposit back to the business owner.
Okay, next one. Is there a way to get moved to the top of the list to get started?
No, I think everybody's in the same boat. I know everybody's eager and they want to get their projects going. Definitely understand the excitement there and the eagerness to get it going. And I'm sure folks have been putting work off for a while, or you've needed some work done for a while. I do understand that, but I think everybody's kind of in the same boat. So, we won't really be prioritizing that way.
Okay, the next few all have to do with putting and how they tax Paul answered that it would have to be worked out with your contractor. So someone is asking, the 40,000 includes an architect. How much are the services?
Can you repeat that one again, Vicky?
So the 48,000 includes an architect. That's the question. How much is the architect's services? So I think they're asking if that architectural money comes out of their award.
Right, it does not. It does not. So the architectural services the county's covering, and it is not included within the up to $40,000 that you could potentially get for your building. And I do want to stress it's up to 40, so you are not guaranteed a full 40,000. That'll be kind of come out in the wash once you're working with your architect and seeing what the needs of your building is.
Okay, and that sets up this next question. If we requested a budget less than 40,000 for our renovations, are we able to get up to 40,000 or stay at our suggested budget that we had in our proposal? So
you'll most likely stay at your suggested budget. However, once you really get into your project with your architect and you kind of see where your needs are, that'll all kind of come out once you start that process with the architect.
Next, what if there's already an architect on the job and the design is pretty much complete?
Then that'll make things go a lot quicker. The architects that we've hired will still need to do that final approval. But if that's the case, you'll be in even faster shape and to get your project done even sooner.
Okay, next one. Are we responsible as owners to obtain our own permits, et cetera, through our towns, or is that something the architect or contractor does?
Yes, the architects and the contractors will help with those.
Yeah, and just to add to that, there's going to be a contractor business owner agreement with the contractor's estimate that's been approved by the architect for whatever type of work is being done. And within that agreement, it states that it is the responsibility of the contractor to obtain all necessary permits. The real role of the architect there is to ensure that whatever the work is in the work spec, that it can be approved at the local level. Whatever they're proposing for you to be done. But ultimately it is, and that'll be spelled out in the agreement, it is the responsibility of the contractor to do that.
Okay, up next, I think this was covered, but maybe they came in late. Is there a timeline for when to start?
So you won't be able to start until you get your notice to proceed, and that'll be after you've met with the architect, you've done your on-site visit, and once you get your project scope. And then you'll be able to proceed.
Okay, next one. The architect's charge comes out of the grant money. How do we know how much they will charge?
Architect's fee is not out of the grant money. That's paid for separately by the county. So that won't cut into the up to 40,000 that you'd be able to get for your building.
Yeah, probably the way to think about it is the $40,000 is strictly hard cost, contractor hard cost, and the county has separate contracts to pay the architects. So it's not, they're separate things.
Okay, I'll just repeat this, double checking are permits covered as well, or is that on the business owner? So I think you just covered that. Another one about the architect fees. Is this prevailing wage or an open shop for the contractor?
It's open shop for the contractor.
We have a thank you for the team working hard on this. Thank you. Next one, my building is located historic preservation landmark area in Hamlin Park. Is the funding capped at 40,000?
The funding is capped at 40,000, yes.
Okay, next one, is this grant taxable?
No.
No, it's not.
All right, we have another thank you. If a licensed builder does their own work, will the county pay for materials in advance to suppliers?
No.
No, the county can only pay on work completed and signed off on by the architect, unfortunately.
Thank you. Is this, oh, same thing, I think, does this grant count as company income? And that was already answered. So that is everything in the chat. I am going to paste the website in there once again for everyone. And if you go to that website, also these storefront info at erie.gov, that is our main channel of communication. So if you have questions or concerns, that mailbox is being monitored constantly. And if, you know, that's probably the best way to get through to us because we're addressing those inquiries every day. So I think that's the best route to go.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vicky.
You're welcome.
Paul, do you have something else? You look like you got another.
No. Nope.
Okay, great. Well, thank you everyone for attending this evening. Thank you for all of your questions. As Vicky pointed out, send any residual questions that you might have or anything that comes to mind later on. Send it to that address on the website. This webinar, the recording will also be put on that website as well, probably within the next 24 hours or so. So you can always refer back to it. And we're really excited to get you guys started and to see what your projects look like down the road. So thank you so much.
Donna, we did just get one late question.
Sure.
I wonder if you just take it. It's if multiple businesses in the same plaza were awarded grants, will the architect reach out to us all together?
Most likely separate since you applied separately, but if you're clustered like that, they'll be kind of hitting you together, but you'll get separate correspondence. Was that the last one?
One more.
Okay.
Let's see. If we had 6 items on the scope, can we have 6 different contractors per item? For example, painter, windows, lighting, etc.
Yep, potentially you could, and then you would need to keep in mind you'd need 2 quotes for each.
Mm-hmm. And that looks like it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, everyone. And like I said, any questions that come to mind later on, shoot us an email, and then also refer back to this webinar. Thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone.
Night.